Hey guys, I am here today with this. This is the 2026 Genesis G80. Let's get into it. All right, so this trim is the 3.5 liter turbo Sport Prestige. There's also a thing called the G80 Prestige Black. So the difference between these two is that most of your detailing that you see in chrome here are going to be in black. There are beautiful black details, but this has a bit of some sportier elements that I'm going to show you both inside and outside. And let's not forget about the sporty drive. It's impossible to talk about Genesis right now without talking about its unique styling. They're really making waves in the automotive world, particularly with enthusiasts, not just because of the performance and value ratio, but also because of the unique, beautiful designs. This one in particular comes with these 20-inch sport wheels. I'd love to know what you think of those in the comments because they were very controversial as I was driving these around town. These unique, beautiful colors like this beautiful gray, as well as the sleek, smooth overall design, which is a little different than what we're getting from Lexus these days, which can be incredibly angular and perhaps very bold styling from the Germans, and what some would say boring designs from more of the legacy luxury automakers. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, as the Sport Prestige, I've got the most powerful engine here in the G80 lineup. So this is a 3.5 liter V6 that's twin turbocharged. It's producing 375 horsepower and 391 foot-pound of torque. This baby is also all-wheel drive. All right, so wheels are nice, big engine, great. Who doesn't love a turbo? I know myself, I'm turbo crazy. But what else makes this the sport, right? Okay, so essentially it's the suspension. We have an electronically controlled suspension with rear wheel steer, as well as sport tuning and sport brakes. And sometimes I say that and it's like blah, 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 right? But in this car, it makes a real difference, and I'll show you where. So let's get to the real meat. The drive of this car is so fascinating because it's so wonderfully duplicitous. In the beginning, you get behind the wheel and you're like, whatever, luxury sedan. I'm in comfort mode and I'm chilling. And then perhaps you're light. Perhaps you are going around a bunch of twisties. Like in my neighborhood, we've got a lot of those. Or perhaps you just want to see what it's got, or maybe you just need some adrenaline. You push that sport button. And then all of a sudden, everything tightens up. The whole screen turns red, and in a good way. And all of a sudden, she's a beast, right? The suspension tightens up. The cornering becomes really, really tight. Those bolsters lock in, and you are all of a sudden behind the wheel of a sports sedan. It is so magnificent. And then you put it in Sport Plus. I did this with my daughter, and it just goes next level. I did this with my daughter, and it was hilarious because she was like, whatever, Genesis, like old person car. And I was like, really, honey? Boom. And she was like, wow, right? It takes a lot to impress an 18-year-old jaded kid. And we had a really good time. The car was fantastic, and the way that it handled, particularly when I was in those twisties and getting it on the gas, boy, I was so impressed, and it was really, really fun. But then when I just wanted to cruise around and put it in comfort, it just gave me everything that I needed. And that's a really difficult thing to do. And I know a lot of the automakers are trying to do that, but to execute that well at this price point, and I know it's still an expensive car, is not always executed very well. This is one of those exceptions. Here in the front seat, I have the Sport steering wheel that's three-pronged, as well as the flat bottom. I've also got some aluminum pedals that's exclusive to the Sport. And then overall, I've got this beautiful red Napa leather, great, this stitching, the quilting, it's all very lovely. This carbon fiber trim is specific to the Sport as well. And then I've got this 27-inch screen. So this is showing my entertainment system as well as the driver's display. I have a micro suede headliner, a full enormous sunroof, all very beautiful. Let me tell you about the driver's seat. So obviously I've got 8-way lumbar support, all the things you expect. And I've got heated and ventilated front seats as well as heated rear seats. This armrest is also heated, which is really interesting and a sort of unexpected, lovely detail. But the thing that Genesis has, which is really interesting, which is this ergo motion seating. So what the ergo motion does, it will do things like if it feels that you need to stretch, it'll change the your seating a little bit. If it thinks you're getting drowsy, it will change the sensation on the seating. It's really interesting. And then my favorite part are the bolsters. So when you go into sport mode, and we're going to talk about this later, use your drive modes when you test drive this car. When you put this into sport mode, it will stiffen up the side bolsters, making it all feel a little tighter, but also making sure that you're staying and not slipping around the seat from side to side, because God knows I've slipped a disc on the track before. I don't know about you guys, but it's a wonderful driver's seat. There's a lot going on. Now, behind the wheel, there is this is the steering wheel that Genesis has rolled out for a while now, which is, it looks like a lot, but it's really quite simple. Essentially, on your left, you've got the things that control your display, as well as the things that control your ADAS, as well as your adaptive cruise control. And then on the right, you essentially have your infotainment system. So that's going to control your phone, the volume, voice activation. And then there's this little guy here that's a little square with arrows on the other side, on either side. You use that as a tiny trackpad. And I recently got into using it. It used to really annoy me, but now I like it. So you essentially can just, as you're listening to your wireless CarPlay or your Android audio system, which by the way is Bang & Olufsen and beautiful. If you want to skip a track, you just slide this to the right? If you want to go back a track, you slide it to the left. That's great. The volume button here is this beautiful tactile metal physical button that has really nice tactile responses. We also have those here in the center console. Your shifter it's supposed to be crystal. To me, it feels a little plastic. It's one thing I think they kind of screwed up, frankly. But the rest are really, really nice tactile experiences, just as elevated as the Germans, if not sometimes a little bit more, and certainly more elevated than Lexus, in my opinion. And then we've got redundancies here at your lower dash, as well as in the touchscreen, which is really nice. Now here in the center, I mentioned before, we've got the shifter. We also have our controller right here, which we can also use the touchscreen. But there's also this little baby here, which are fixed cup holders. Not my favorite thing in the world, but whatever, it works fine. And then you can easily turn off your automatic start here, which again was just legislated, so that will change. But there's an entire dynamic view for your parking, which is great. You can turn on or off your parking noises with a touch of a button, which is amazing. There is a wireless charge pad. Your drive modes are here. We're going to get into that, guys. And then in this armrest, beautiful split open little compartment here, which is really nice. You've also got your USB-C charging in here, as well as like that round, what used to be a cigarette lighter. I forget what they call those. Those are really great. Also, because this is the Genesis, thank you very much, we've got the seat controls here so that your passenger or here in the driver's seat, I can control this, right? So if someone's getting the back seat, they've got a lot of stuff, I just do a little bit of this, right? And I can set it back. Or if like grandma's gonna come and sit down, or my client and I wanna impress them. No, let me get that for you. Here you go, Grams. No, it's fine. Fantastic. All right, you will not have one passenger that gets into the back of this car and doesn't say, wow. I promise you, I just promise you, because it's just really nice back here. It's really nice. So I don't know why I'm putting my seatbelt on, but I just tend to do that when I get in the backseat of cars. So there you go. So sitting back here, right? This is beautiful. I've got a little window here, which is making it feel all very airy. But what you can sense the minute you sit in the back of this vehicle are the quality of the materials, because of how the sound really stays in the vehicle. There's no tinning, there's no wind noise, there's no road noise. It's just, it all stays in the vehicle, which is just so great. Again, this micro suede headliner, all the Napa leather trim. I've got lots of leg room. This seat can be adjusted, which is very nice. And then in the center, you know, you can seat three people back here. You really can. But what's a lot more fun is to put this center armrest down, which has cup holders in it, but it also has the seat warmers, and you can control this back window screen from back here. But also, if the driver puts it in reverse, that will just automatically go down, which is great. But this, and there's also a compartment in here with some charging ports. This experience is just incredibly lovely and impressed all of my passengers. All right, back end, you're gonna open it right here. Don't freak out, it's gonna be fine. There is a button to open and close it, which is great. This is an enormous trunk, you guys. Let me just get you in here so you guys can see. It is huge, truly. You golf people are just so stoked, right? Look at that, oh my God, all the luggage in the world. There's also a nice ski pass through there, which is really interesting. And then, you know, they give you some of the fun stuff, right? The little kit for fixing a tire under here. I've got a full-size spare, baby. Woo! Hallelujah. Thank you very much. As well as just a little bit of more information about the car. And obviously you can take these out and put your precious bottle of wine that you don't want to roll around in there. Again, you're gonna just close it and or lock it with the touch of a button. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. I wrote this down so I would get this right. All right, so MSRP on this one is $78,350. You're going to add in $14.95 for your destination and handling, which is one of the things that like always gets buried at the end, and you're like, wait, where did this $1,500 come from? And automakers have different levels for those, so keep your eyes on those when you're negotiating your offer, okay? And so by the end, we're at $79,845, so just under $80,000. And honestly, compared to a lot of the Germans and to other luxury automakers, this is a lot of car for the money. Because additionally, you'll also get a great warranty. So the warranty on this one is 5 years, 60,000 miles on the vehicle. And then the powertrain, you get a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty, which is just fantastic. And that is better than the most. So what's wrong with it? I mean, listen, it's not perfect. No car is. I'm not crazy about these wheels, as I told you before, but it's really hard to find something to hate about this car. You really have to either love or hate the styling, love or hate the drive, which is uniquely non-Japanese and non-German at the same time, but certainly elevated luxury. I would love to know what you think. Please let me know in the comments. So there you have it, the 2026 Genesis G80. I'm Amelia Dalgard, aka Motorhead Mama. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.